What's up, everyone? Jim and Eric here to talk about Suicide Squad and the Gotham City Sirens movie, the Harley Quinn spinoff. And what exactly are we going to say about these things? Well, Suicide Squad director David Ayer recently said that he has some regrets about that movie, that he should have made the Joker the main villain of the film. He also talked a little bit about basically he should have had engineered a more grounded story, but we're going to talk about the Joker. And I have a little theory.
Yes.
So, okay, Jared Leto's Joker, not the main villain in Suicide Squad. However, that Harley Quinn spinoff movie that David Ayer is also going to direct, what if the Joker is the main villain of that movie? The last time we saw Harley and Joker together, he's going to have to be addressed somehow, so you might as well do that and make it a basis. Now, Eric, you have very strong opinions about Jared Leto's Joker, so I'm going to throw it to you. What do you think about the idea of the Joker being the main villain of any of these things?
Well, look, okay, Joker, one of the greatest villains ever, and look.
In the comics.
Not Suicide Squad Joker. And I like Jared Leto and a lot of other things. I did not like him as Joker. I didn't like the look. I didn't like the performance.
Wait, his Oscar-nominated look, man.
His Oscar-nominated look, yes. Suicide Squad is now an Academy Award-nominated film forevermore. But yeah, the Joker just didn't work for me. I mean, that movie had a lot of problems, but I just thought the Joker, who is one of the most famous villains ever, just not a compelling version of that character. I know there's a subsect. There are some people out there who strongly disagree, but I think most people weren't huge fans of the Joker. I feel like, look, I'm not blind to the fact that because he is the Joker, he is that popular, he'll be back. And we can talk more about who should play him and how he should look. But I do think they should leave him out of Gotham City Sirens. Totally agree. I mean, they have to address it. The fact that last we saw, she went off with him.
Yeah.
But I'd rather they deal with it in dialogue than have him be a big part of that movie. I think let's because Harley was a well-received part of Suicide Squad, and I think rightfully so. But let her do her own thing with whoever she's teamed up with here, and Joker can come back later.
Well, okay, I'm going to respectfully disagree because I feel like damn it, this is over. I feel like they have to include Joker for a couple of reasons. But first of all, one of the big complaints about Suicide Squad was that Harley Quinn's agency and the sort of the idea that she just basically goes off with Joker, or granted he comes and he gets her, but the changes made were in the original cut of Suicide Squad was that all the decisions she made to separate herself from Joker were basically gone from the final film.
Yeah.
Gotham City Sirens is your way to address that, and I do feel like you need to show her up against the Joker as like a foe almost, of like breaking off from him. Like you have to dramatize that. And frankly, it is a way to both redeem her character, giving her agency back, all that, and the Joker as well. Make him the main villain, show why he is the Joker and why he is such an important character. Give them another shot, I think. Also, let's be practical here. The Joker moves merch.
Oh yeah.
And there's no way, given all the merchandise that was made for Suicide Squad, and I'm not sure actually of numbers and what the sales figures were on those, but the Joker moves merch.
I just saw a Jared Leto Joker t-shirt at Hot Topic this weekend, many months later. So.
At Hot Topic of all places, the last place that would have
place that would ever have Joker and Harley clothing.
But I just feel like it's just from a practical standpoint, the Joker is coming back now. Jared Leto clearly very publicly made a lot of disparaging kind of remarks about the lack of footage that they ended up using of him. I'm not even sure if he ended up seeing the full movie or not. But whether or not he would come back, I don't know. But you do need to have the Joker, I think, in Gotham City Sirens, and have him be the main villain, to just show if they can take down Joker, or she's willing to go up against Joker, then she really is a force to be reckoned with, instead of like having them go up against yet another CGI villain like Enchantress there.
I don't know. I feel like what they could do is a correct version of what Suicide Squad failed at almost, which is, for the brunt of the movie, she's not the Joker. It's just that, especially because of the stuff they cut, nothing changes for her. You know, Joker shows up and she's just like, yay, he's back. But what I think they could still do if he wasn't in Gotham City Sirens is still have a movie that deals with her codependency and the fact that it's an abusive relationship with her relationship with whoever, again, the other co-stars are. And again, I know that maybe that's not like, you still would need to dramatize it later. Like, of course, you can't just have it, the Joker-Harley relationship finished and, you know, dealt with without ever having them on screen together. But I still think the story could much more directly in a way that Suicide Squad, because it was getting so many changes behind the scenes, couldn't deal with, you know?
Yeah.
They could still have that be a through line of the movie. And again, I'm you know, not naive enough to not think that if I say Joker's not in this movie, that doesn't mean like, oh, he pops up in one scene at the end, you know, or something like that. You know?
I don't want to see another one scene at the end with the Joker where he just barges in and kisses her.
She kicks him in the balls.
There we go.
That's the thing. That's the
Does
twist.
her foot just say internet on there too?
Yeah,
You know?
it's just that's
Any final thoughts on this?
No, you know, I guess it's just such a weird case because I understand. I mean, Suicide Squad ultimately made money, and Harley was, and Margot Robbie's performance, and I think deservedly so, was one of the few things I think most people agreed on liking. But I'm very curious how they deal with this because of the fact that we're discussing this, and a lot of people, the Joker, they dropped the ball with such a key character, and it's a character again that they're not going to keep away for very long, you know. So I guess I'm just so curious to see when he's back and what he looks like, and that means not only the actor but just the physical depiction, given how polarizing this Joker's, you know, how it didn't go over great with everyone. So I think it'll be a big decision about how they handle him next.
All right, well, we want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Should Joker be in Gotham City Sirens as the main villain? Does he need a good long rest? Let us know in the comments for all things movies, DC and otherwise. Keep it here on IGN.